Hello and welcome back to day 2 of the WCS Europe Premier League. We were going to go into an interview with Stefano, but he already packed his bag. He's already on the first flight out of there. He's left France and he's on holiday already. So unfortunately for us, we're going to have to just move on to our next game, which is going to be sLivko versus Shuttle.
Pretty impressive two players here, unfortunately losing their first games. However, they still have a good opportunity to move on forwards. One of these players will meet up with MC afterwards for that second spot in the round of 16. But now sLivko and Shuttle, both respectively rank 55 and 75 in WCS points.
That's
now looking
right.
to advance on.
And remember, it's all about claim. So the WCS rank doesn't really matter outside of top 16. Any number higher than 16 is bad. So you want to try to bring yourself up to get top 16 to play at the global finals at the end of the year that will be held live in BlizzCon. And I think it's roughly October, November time. I'm not sure exactly when BlizzCon is, but it'll be hosted then. So every player is fighting as hard as they can get for prize money and, of course, those WCS points. Both of these players have not too many points under their belt.
Yeah, a long way to go for them, either be it via WCS or external events being Tier 1 and Tier 2 tournaments. We've already seen quite a few of those as of late. But now we're going to jump into Belshire Vestige very, very soon with sLivko and Shuttle. And for sLivko, his ZVT was his weakness for a long, long time during Wings of Liberty, and even in Heart of the Swarm, still, it's his weakness. So around a 40% win ratio there for sLivko, so he could have a lot of problems here against Shuttle.
I've seen sLivko's Zerg versus Terran quite a bit recently, and let me tell you what happens out of 90% of games. All ins. Roach Banelings. It can be a different drone count. It can be down to as low as 35. It can be as high as 65. But Roach Baneling, man, he loves it. Loves it.
Those Zergs loving that recently. And spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our blue Terran, we have Clarity Gaming's Shuttle. And spawning down to the bottom right as our red Zerg representing Russia, he is VP sLivko.
All right, let's find out how this is going to go down. Shuttle needs to lock tight the wall, the defenses. The fort must be strong with this one, because he's going to have to go up against an aggressive, very aggressive player by the name of sLivko.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, again, we're seeing more and more Zergs just kind of go down that path, because it can be a little bit dangerous, just in general, going up against a Terran for a longer game. With a ton of Widow Mines present, it's hard, really, really difficult to actually engage into a Terran once they get set up and good to go. You see upwards of 11, 15 Widow Mines, and engaging into that's so hard.
Yeah, it is very difficult to do, so sLivko's got to be very careful. But this is sLivko's chance to actually prove his worth in the StarCraft 2 scene, especially in Heart of the Swarm. His results have just been so lackluster for the player that he kind of used to be. You know, getting that 3rd to 4th place finish at the Intellect Stream Masters in Singapore was a good event. He picked up roughly $2,000, if I'm not mistaken. He played well in other tournaments that year in 2012, a lot of round of 8 finishes and whatnot. No big results, but as mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he was always a threat. You look at the player pool and you're like, you know, sLivko's up there. You know, he could beat me. You know, he's dangerous. He loves his Broodlord Infester. And in Heart of the Swarm, in all honesty, he still loves his Broodlord Infestors, Kaelaris. They're just not as good.
Nope, he's not been able to really get used to them as much as he would like to. And now he's having to go up against Shuttle, who, well, I won't be surprised if we saw some Hellbat drops from Mr. Shuttle. He does like him. I would not be surprised.
He is one of the. He was actually one of the first players that loved to get the Hellbat drops down and be a nuisance, really. And that's definitely what we could see from him. I'm definitely expecting him to try that. But he's been through a couple of teams himself over the years. Started off at, we talked about it, New Star Hoso. Moved over to Team Legion, then FX Open for a little bit, before finally finding his home at Clarity Gaming. I think it's the New York team, based in New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The Eastern American team. He's a very young guy as well. He's only 19 years old. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. But let's see how well he can do. Can he get to the round of 16? Can he come to Cologne and play live? I think it would be great to meet him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he'd have fun. We'd make him have fun. We would make him have fun.
We would make him have fun.
We would make him have fun here in Cologne.
Yes.
I mean, Kennegat would take him to the sunbed.
Yeah.
I'd take him for a haircut. You'd take him clothes shopping.
Pretty much.
It would be the trio of a lifetime that he'd love to play with. But we do see a second gas coming down. And that's a pretty clear indication that he wants to go for the Hell Drops.
The Hell Drops.
They're no longer named the Hellbat Drops. Apollo single-handedly has nicknamed them Hell Drops.
It's a good one, man.
It's
the
not
Hell
bad.
Drops.
The Hell Drops.
They cause hell.
Yeah,
Certainly.
they cause hell. They are hell.
Yeah.
For every race. Even Terran players, they're hell.
You know, it's funny. It's funny when you kind of hear Terran players being like, "Those Hellbats, man, they're annoying."
I hate Hellbats, but you have them as well. And that's why in all the Terran versus Terran games we see, everyone uses them. Yep. So with the second gas coming down, what we should be seeing very shortly here from Shuttle is his gas climb up over 100. Therefore, he's able to throw down the army, which we do see smack down at the back of his base. Hell Drops coming in from Shuttle.
Nom. Wouldn't have expected any less here, as that is on the way. He's getting that bunker at the front here, just to make sure he's stable and sturdy against anything that sLivko's going to throw at him. And wow, sLivko's going for his third, a little bit quicker than I was expecting here, but Shuttle blocking that off with his initial bunker. Yeah,
slowed him down a little bit, but at this point, that slowed down is just thrown into overlords and drones, so it's not a major deficit or anything, but it does just slow that third base down a little bit. sLivko, though, we know that he loves roach and baling attacks. A key structure in going roach and baling attacks is the Roach Warren. And the Roach Warren has now been put down. So that's going to be good defensively against the Hellbats. Just kind of... When do they come out is the big point. Does he build them straight away? Does he wait? They're going to be coming soon.
Yep, as well as that starport finishing up. So the medevac, the extra tool he requires to make those Hell Drops do the damage they need to do. He's actually doing a pretty good job of spreading his creep here, just to kick things off a little bit and getting that going. Only 2 creep tumors thus far, but with that going, if he can survive the Hell Drops that are going to be on the way, then he'll be all right.
All right, sLivko, I've just confirmed it for everybody. I'm going to put my neck on the chopping board. He's going for Roach Baling all in, and he's going to go on roughly 68 to 69 drones. That precise. There's the Baling nest coming down. The evolution chamber will be for a +1 carapace upgrade. When you go for a big roach baling attack, it's better to have a carapace upgrade. You know, put that on top of the amount of hit points that roaches already have.
Yep.
And then, you know, the Zerglings and Balings surviving a little bit longer against the Marine shots too. So it's going to be quite a big play here. The layer's going to sync up with a Roach Warren and Baling nest to be able to get Roach speed and Baling speed down as well. This could be a big, big play. The big defense against this is tanks. Do we see tanks?
Will he switch the factory? Doesn't look like he's going to just yet here. The Tech Lab is whirring away with that stim, and he's actually mixing in a few Marauders. But you're right. The fact of the matter that Marines deal their damage in such small packets, the Carapace works so great against that kind of damage that it's fantastic for that kind of all-in play. So there's the Centrifugal Hooks. There's the Glider Reconstitution. They're going to time out nicely. He's going up to 9 more drones, so he's actually going to be sitting at around 70 here.
Oh, I was wrong by a single drone.
Oh, well,
darn it. But wait, if the Hellbats kill a couple...
I think they may have killed one.
He's at 69!
Yes, they killed one!
There you go. There's a 69 Roach Baling attack.
Wait a minute. He was going to throw down a Spire. There we go. Spire's on the way.
Well, he's still going to go for this attack no matter what here. But the thing is, when you see a Spire as a Terran player, like, oh, he's playing normal.
Yeah.
And you say it in that really sweet, you know, cute little voice, because that's the sign of comfortability.
Is that how Shuttle sounds?
Yes. Oh, the drones.
He's trying to get away, and he did get away in the end. 9 workers have died off. Oh, he's at 59 now. He goes up to 63.
And he has really slowed the attack down, because this should have already been going across, and now he's been forced to build 9 more drones here. Roach speed and Roach Baling, Baling speed is done too, but he has 11 Roaches and 3 Zerglings. He's built a lot more drones here. And what is he going to do from this? With only going for a single evolution chamber, I swear to God, I promise you, his plan was to go for a massive attack. It's very difficult to transition away from this. Yeah. Does he then throw down a second evolution chamber? Does he then try to play Mulist? No, not really, because he doesn't have enough gas to do that, because he's been focused so heavily on getting the Roach speed and Baling speed down. The 4th base is fine to do so here, but these Hellbat drops have really caused him hell.
Yeah, they have. I mean, the lava alone invested into the drones that he had to replenish is annoying enough to slow down that assault, right? So the Hellbats are on the way once again. And sLivko, he actually doesn't really have that many precautions against them.
Look, I think because he's been slowed down, he's decided, you know, screw it. I can't do this. I've been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I lost drones. The Hellbat drops is still going on. If I go for the attack, they're only going to kill everything I have. Oh, they could get quite a few hits.
Yeah, they
they focused the Queen.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a misstep there by Shuttle, not really getting them, and sLivko capitalizes off that greatly, saving a lot of the drones, but the Hellbats were in the natural as well. So Hellbats just everywhere, right? Whoa! Gets a few drones in the end. He might even catch a lot there as well. 18 have already gone down. Does he get more? Yes, he does. 22 go down. The Mutalisk going to clean the rest up.
Behind this, 6 Marines, 5 Marauders, and a Viking. And 4 Widow Mines. Not a lot back at home.
Imagine if the push had come.
He could have done a lot, but he was so scared about it. That's why he built Mutalisk, to deal with the drops. He, you know, he's got 3 evolution chambers down now as well. It's just, his plan has just been spoiled. It's just been destroyed. He definitely wanted to do it. It was lining up exactly to how it always goes down for sLivko. But because of how this game played out, he's been hurt. He's got 26 Zerglings on the way, though. He's still got a supply lead. He's got to be careful. There are Widow Mines in the middle of the map here, which the Zerglings just run straight past.
Got to be very, very careful. And with that, now it's just securing the watchtower. And we'll poke on forwards just a little bit further now. As Shuttle wiggling around, trying to find a way into his opponent's side of the map. But he has to be careful about little counterattacks, like the Zerglings moving up to the right. That being said, though, there is the bunker, so he is already taking precautions there against such eventualities.
Yeah, these Widow Mines are going to be so good against just these few Zerglings and Banelings, man. These are going to do really, really well here. But there are still a lot of units for sLivko. Hellbat's in the mix too.
Especially if those Widow Mines are properly spread out here. Supply blocked his sLivko though, and he's going to try and flood in from the front with the Mutalisks as well. A lot of connections at those Hellbats at the very front with those Banelings, and he will fully clean it up. 137 supply to sLivko against 104, and Shuttle behind this.
Oh, Shuttle's in trouble, man. He's got nothing to defend his third base here. sLivko, just edge up, little buddy. Just go on.
Just a little bit.
Just push. Go on.
The Zerglings, they have wins.
There you go. A little puff over there, and he's found that base.
Oh, they did indeed sail away and find a lot of lovely SCVs to kill off. And now Shuttle cleans it up in the end. But
sLivko should just morph a bunch of Banelings and the Xel'Naga Tower and just go for a big attack here.
Yeah. Well, he certainly has the gas to do it. 20 Banelings.
There it is. And then just go for a crushing attack, because this can win the game. Shuttle is a little bit behind in army upgrades. Actually, he's ahead in upgrades. 2-2. Oh boy, 2-2 versus just 0-1. And that's the 1-1 incoming. Despite having 3 evolution chambers, that's how off-put sLivko's been in this game.
Yeah, Shuttle burrowing a few more Widow Mines as well. They need really, really good connections to stop the Banelings doing proper damage to this. But actually, Roach is sent forward. Great move there by sLivko, actually soaking up a lot from those Widow Mines. Just completely eliminating them from the equation completely there. As the Banelings roll on forwards now, trying to catch everything. But, I mean, this base is going to get ransacked. Shuttle had to abandon it with that army barreling down on him.
And these Widow Mines are going to help out on the top there. If they hit the Banelings, they definitely will. Oh, nice hit there.
Yeah,
but still, the numbers heavily in favor of sLivko. He's broken down the space. 2-2 has finished. A drop on the right-hand side. Oh, another drop we didn't quite see there. But if that's able to bring down the 4th base and slow sLivko down, but not quite. He's not. No, he's not. No, no, no.
He lost the Queen, they lost a lot of drones, and then now Shuttle is going to try and transition over to his opponent's main base here, but those Mutalisks should be able to clean up the rest of that, so not too bad in the end for him. Meanwhile, a few Zerglings do sacrifice themselves at the very front of the map here, while Shuttle tries to push on forwards once again. But again, sLivko here on 69 drones to 42 workers. His income is going to be flying eventually when Shuttle is just completely mined out at his main.
Yeah, this is a battle of relevancy between these two players. One of them gets the shot to go up against a 2-time GSL champion in SKMC. And the chance to move on to the round of 16. Not sure which is more prestigious, playing MC or going to the round of 16. As we do have sLivko looking to move in.
Oh, and he is going to a good setup there to actually push on forwards here. But the Widow Mines actually catch a lot of those Banelings in the back. I think the Marines should be able to hold their own with all those Banelings there.
Upgrades. 2-2 upgrades.
Such a fantastic position there for Shuttle, really bringing it back. 137 supply against 132. He's going to power on forwards. He knows he has the advantage at this point. A little bit of a drop down to the left-hand side here as well for Shuttle. Really stringing sLivko very, very thinly here. Banelings need to connect, and they do it just a little bit. But there's too many Marines.
But at what cost? But at what cost?
GG. Game number 1 goes to Shuttle.
Whoa.
What a comeback.
All right, cool. So I felt that game was sLivko. Like, you've played the mini games, the flash games where you click and the volleyball like goes up and you got to click it and you got to keep it pushing up. You know, like, have you played one of those before?
Yeah, I've played those.
I think that was like sLivko playing it, and he was like kicking the ball up and he was clicking it and he was getting it. And then all of a sudden, Hellbats came in. And then he couldn't get the ball anymore. He just kept on missing because he dropped the ball hard here, Kaelaris.
I'm enjoying the idea of he's clicking the ball, and then Hellbats come in, and then there's like 10 balls.
The thing is, he just dropped it so hard there because he got so screwed up with his initial plan. His plan was ready to rock and roll. It was ready to go.
It was ready to roar.
It was ready to roar. That's how good his plan was. It was ready to roar. And then it was gone. He just got messed up. He had 3 evolution chambers. He was at 1-1 upgrades by the end there against 2-2. Despite bringing that third base down, he fell so well behind the Widow Mines and the Marines at 2-2. Good play, though, from Shuttle to be able to, keep sturdy.
Oh, yeah.
Despite, everything that was coming at him.
The consistency of eventually having those upgrades out to your advantage and someone foregoing them for that long is really hard to come back from as a player. Marines with 2-2 against anything lower than that.
Backed up by Widow Mines as well. It's just such a problem to deal with. And actually, I didn't actually get in. Yeah, I'm in game. Sorry, I thought I wasn't in game. I wonder if sLivko, the next map's Newkirk. I would like to see a Roach Hydra play here from him.
Yeah.
And I think actually he's watching the replay. Yeah, he's watching the replay at this point. His plan was real spoiled, and I wonder if he may try to do the same again, because I know that's how he likes to win his games. That's how he does win his games. He actually managed to beat the STC at DreamHack just a week ago by using the exact same play. Shuttle's Korean, though. We could see a 2-Rex.
We could.
He's Korean. They love their 2-Rex, more so than the European Terran players, and the North American ones, too. They always throw it in, and it's very funny because it can be the first game, the middle game, or the last game. It just depends on how big balls of steel these Koreans have.
Yep.
I was
waiting for it.
I was going to go one way, but then I thought maybe not.
No. All right. Well, Shuttle's invited into the game here for game number 2, and he leads currently. So, 1 game away from playing against MC for that final spot. But one thing's for sure. In this group, we are guaranteed to lose one of our Koreans. We have around 7 in the WCS Europe right now, but one of them is guaranteed to fail.
Do you know how many there were last season?
There were 3.
Oh, you know exactly. Wow.
I think so. It was MVP,
Fast fingers.
Shuttle, and MMA, right? There was nobody else.
Don't think so.
Oh, no, 4GG. So technically there was 4.
You forgot 4G. You forgot Park Ji-soo. Park Ji-soo.
He's pretty good.
By the way, Park Ji-soo, 4GG, had a lot of Korean fangirls in Korea.
Does he really?
Yeah, he had a lot. And they turned up just to watch him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot. I think it's because they were remembering the days of when he won his 1v1 title against Flash and Jaedong.
An OSL, right?
Yes. Yeah. So he's got a lot of girl fans. I just like to remind you about that.
He's a handsome lad.
I was surprised. I thought it would have been Jaedong, and Jaedong.
He has a lot of girl fans.
Jaedong's got a lot, but I think 4GG has more. You should have been there. Maybe 4GG has a lot of European girl fans too. But whatever the case, Newkirk is going to be the next map between these 2 players. We are still waiting on sLivko to re-enter. Let's hope he's not gone on holiday.
Nope.
But sLivko, I think I said it in the game. It is really a battle of relevancy here between these 2 players to be able to.
You put it well.
Just kind of get their name out there. Tell us who you are, and show us good games, because this is your chance. There's a lot of people watching. There's going to be even more people watching. You'll be playing in front of a live audience in Cologne, Germany. If you're able to join the likes of Stefano, MVP, and Tefl. There's one slot open today. 3 players remaining. We see these 2 players in front of us now, and then MC on top of it. Can these 2 players really show us what they haven't done so far in their tournament career? You know, we can go as far as where to say Shuttle's, he's won a couple of online cups, but apart from that, what have you done? You just haven't done, you know, to the same quality as everybody else who's qualified. Even Tefl managed, you know, round of 16 at DreamHack. He's already round of 16 here as well. So it's all about getting the results in. sLivko, more than anybody here, and potentially more than anybody else in the Premier League, has to show major results. Otherwise, he is just this average Zerg player that is no longer the danger he used to be and whatnot.
I think if any kind of example is great in establishing this kind of position where, you know, establishing relevancy, it's recently in a player like Stardust. All you have to do is have one good performance and show a little bit of your character for 5 minutes on camera, and you can explode in popularity and the way which the community perceives you. And people like sLivko and Shuttle here, they have to prove themselves here so that they can get that opportunity to do something like that.
Yeah. Who would you like to see advance into the round of 16? Shuttle or sLivko?
I would like to see sLivko.
Okay.
Out of these 2 players. I think because I've seen him at a lot of tournaments.
MC going to be in the difficult driving seat after this.
That's going to be hard. But if you had to determine these 2 players, if it were to be one of these, I think sLivko would be nice. He's certainly a character whenever you see him. I always think back to the WCS last year where he was playing in the Russian Federation Nationals. And then at the very end of the broadcast, he kind of stole the trophy away from Titan and tried to sneak away with it. It was it was pretty impressive, but he's a cheeky one.
It's funny that because he's not really the kind of small guy you'd expect to sneak away with anything, is he? So
he's pretty obviously spotted.
I would like to see Shuttle make his way through.
Yep.
I'd like to, you know, get his English interviews out there in the WCS round of 16. I'd like to see his personality a little bit more and play in front of a live audience. I think that would be nice for him. But MC, who wouldn't want MC at the round of 16, right?
That's true. That is true. And spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner here in game number 2 as our Red Zerg 1 game away from complete elimination. He is VP sLivko. And spawning down to the bottom right as our blue Terran, we have Clarity Gaming's Shuttle.
CG.
It's a good point that you bring up, though, because I imagine he does have quite good English if he's living in an American team house.
Yeah.
So I would like to hear his English interviews as well.
The funny thing is, the majority of Koreans are not that bad at English. They're just very shy to expose themselves to weakness, almost. I'm really bad. And if you force them to a certain extent, force them and just make them feel comfortable in doing so. Dude, I had, you know, SOS and Sulky speaking English a lot of the time to me in Korea. When I was on the couch with Day 9, they can do it. They're just very shy about it. I still owe Sulky a dinner.
Do you?
I played him in Rock, Paper, Scissors on stream.
Oh dear.
I lost 2-0.
You can't even beat him at Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Was I really going to beat a champion? You
no,
know,
I don't think so.
Sulky.
Sorry about that, man.
I'm going to try and beat... You know, I'm gonna make that my goal this year. At all the events I go to for the rest of the year, I'm gonna challenge these pro winners. Only winners.
Only winners.
I've played MC and I've lost.
Yeah.
I've played Sulky and I've lost.
I can see a pattern emerging here.
I'm gonna play MVP when he comes to Europe, and I'm probably gonna lose too.
You can't be MVP, man.
The thing is, it's gonna be like my tour. It's a Polish Rock Paper Scissors tour, 2013. Get T-shirts of who I've lost to. I'm gonna sell T-shirts at the end of the year.
It's got seasons and everything.
Yeah, season. So this is it's WCS season 1. I lost versus Sulky and MC. Season 2, I haven't played anyone yet, but I'm in good form.
Yeah.
I'm in good form. I've been practicing every day with Carmack.
Oh god, that's terrifying. But oh well. So our producer decides to come along and play Rock, Paper, Scissors, and he just lost game 1. It's currently a tie, and it's 1-1. And Apollo won 2-1.
No, I won 2-1. I won 2-1.
Oh well.
You know,
that was interesting.
I know that's the start. that was like, you know, when the football teams and athletes have preseason.
Yeah.
Being a producer was like, you know, preseason warm-up game.
Yeah.
So you just wait until I face up against these GSL champions, man.
2-1.
MVP's next on my list, and I will play it.
He's going to be here? You're going to get the
I'm going to play it in Germany, and we will do it. you know, if that after show, the WCS after show, whatever it was called, was it after WCS after show?
Extra,
WCS Extra.
Yeah.
If that comes back, the first episode when MVP's on, I will play him, and I will win.
Apollo's rock paper scissors season.
Yep, I'll win.
Awesome.
All right, so looking at this game now, we did have an early gas here from sLivko. This could be an indication of an aggressive play, but he does decide to pull out of the gas. So him pulling out of the gas here, it's just going to be for speed and speed alone. It may be just for a little bit out of gas and then go back in. There are 2 base Roach Baneling plays as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be these big ones either.
Yep.
You know, that we saw him try to go for in the previous game.
And meanwhile, over at Shuttle's base, he's just got that factory on the way, as well as that reactor, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more Hellbats.
Well, he hasn't taken the second gas.
Has he not? Oh.
He hasn't. So without the second gas, it's not as easy to be able to go for it.
Yeah.
He definitely seems to be aiming towards a 3rd command center. There is the option. So right now, there's a fork in the road, or a fork in the river, whatever you want to say. It's either a command center or extra barracks.
And that is a command center. So, getting that up and running, getting that good to go on the 3 base would be quite nice. Get himself a little bit of a macro lead, whilst sLivko
is back in gas fully.
And
did I see that? I just glimpsed at the screen.
He is.
The 3rd is almost, I'd like to say, not relevant in a game of relevancy. Oh.
Yeah.
The Roach Horn is down in a 2nd gas too. I think we're going to see... well, the Baneling, that's not a necessity to get early on. You can actually get it quite a little bit later. I think he's going to go for it. Come on, show me, please. Come on, go for it. Come on, sLivko. But the thing is, at the same time, it's very difficult to call. The biggest thing that pushes my thought process to think along these lines is the lack of evolution chambers. Because ideally, you know, you'd want to be getting them down because a Terran player is going to throw down double evolution chamber. He's still droning though. What's his drone count?
He's going up to 5. He's going to be on 50 soon.
That's quite high. 44 going up to 50. Maybe he's not then.
But if he doesn't go for evolution chambers, you don't want to fall into the trap of game 1 again. If you do, that's horrendous.
Or does he just throw down the lair and try to go Roach speed and Baneling speed? But the lack of evolution chambers, the longer they're not down, the more I believe that we're still going to see an attack from him.
It has to be. It can't be anything. Well, there is 1 evolution chamber going down right now, but just 1 going up against 2 engineering bays can be rife with danger.
Well, 1 evolution chamber, so it's going to be +1 carapace. He's going to get Baneling speed. So he's going to go for this bigger 3-base play again, or attempt it again. This time there's no Hellbat distraction.
Yeah.
Which definitely works in his favor.
Yeah, definitely. There's the Hellions that are poking out around at the front, so that's going to act as a little bit of a distraction, but nowhere near as much as those Hellbats. You can deny those a lot easier. It depends entirely how well he fortifies this 3rd base if all these Hellions actually push in, because right now, 8 Hellions do pose quite a threat to that 3rd base.
They do, and he doesn't have that many units, really, does he? He's only got a handful. He has to be careful. Oh.
Well, one of these Roaches is going to go down very fast. But he doesn't want to get himself cornered. Oh, actually, no, I forgot. This is the new version.
Yeah, the new version.
Yeah.
But he's up to a really comfortable drone point now. Roach speed, Baneling speed, anyone?
And there it is.
Everyone. So now is the point where you should, as a Zerg player, be building like 2 or 3 or 4 more Overlords, and then just a bunch of units and going for it. So there's the units, there's the additional Overlords. But, I mean, look at the setup that we see from Shuttle. We focus a lot on sLivko. He's got mines. He's got Widow mines. He's got mines at Widow mines, yeah, of course he has.
Yeah.
Hellions, and he's already got a lot of Marauders out. But he's just now added on the reactors to his production. Like, right now, he's becoming to get stronger. He's getting closer to being strong with an army size. But at this point, it's still weak.
It's like the powering point.
Yeah, he's about to power up really, really strong.
Yeah. And if he can get that fully going, it's going to be great. It's going to be in a great situation. sLivko, in essence, this was the window for him to try and hit, I think.
Yeah. To
really kind of catch his opponent when he's transitioning onto that full-fledged production. But, well, he's got a lot of Roaches. He's going to be up to almost 30 Roaches.
He's going to go for this, I believe, now. He's only at 142 supply. Supply block just... little mistake slowing him down a little bit.
Yeah, there's 2 Overlords are going to pop in just a second here, but that supply block's really hindering him because right now he has a little bit of minerals and gas banked up. That could be pumped in some of the lava that he has lying around here. 9 lava there. So And even more Overlords on the way here, whilst he does sit at 72 drones.
All right. It's a lot of drones, it's a lot of roaches. Look at the unit tab. 7 Hellions and 4 Marauders and 7 Marines or whatnot if my long distance eye doesn't let me down.
There's a lot of bunkers there, but not enough Marines units to actually fill them. He fills up 2 of them in the end. Third one is going down as well.
If he holds his third base, remember he's going to have those 2-2 upgrades again. When they complete, with combat shields as well, he'll be in a very similar position how he was in the previous game. With a mind, great. Smart move. Get back, get defensive. Get in front of those bunkers and help defend 28. Oh my god, 28 Banelings.
Ooh, that is a lot of Banelings. And he's got melee weapons on the way as well. It's not going to be of any relevance in this engagement, but it gives him a little bit of an opportunity to later transition on. He's got his 4th base on the way as well. Hellions poke out and see this entire army moving forwards into position, assault position here, to now try and bulldoze down this 3rd base.
That Widow Mine is going to hit a roach.
Oh, that is not enough there. The Banelings actually crash in from both sides. Will they be able to connect with the bio? Shuttle moves it away very, very nicely, but at the same time, so much firepower here from sLivko. Takes down 2 of the bunkers. There's only one that remains here. The Banelings are trying to chase everything, and Shuttle's 3rd base gets obliterated.
He's got 2 mines. There's too many units here.
Yeah, don't think that's going to be enough.
I don't know. I've seen like MVP hold positions from this before.
Yeah.
But Shuttle's not MVP. He's doing well to hold off for now because there's a bunch of SCVs and roaches and lings don't want to really tank that. But the problem is he morphs 20, 40 more Banelings or whatever. Then the problem, continues. 2 mines are there. 2-2 is on the way. 2-2 if they can get to 2-2. Maybe Shuttle can still win this game, but it's a 60 supply difference.
Yeah, that is a lot of pressure that's going to be hitting Shuttle very, very quickly. He just comes crashing through, as you said, with those Banelings. And then behind that, it doesn't even matter what he wants to transition on with because the game is going to be over. Shuttle here, trying to get that wall up and running once again. But sLivko tanking a little bit with the Zerglings leading, but the Banelings break down that wall. The bio has positioned itself very, very nicely on this ramp. A little bit of a drop going over the other side, but that doesn't matter as sLivko for now is just piling on the pressure. Banelings connect with everything, even a few SCVs.
2-2 is done.
2-2 is done.
And there's no Banelings. There's a drop. The drop is going to get in there. Oh, this is a good, big play here from Shuttle. Despite being back in supply, if he brings his 3rd base down, hops into the main base, defends from the natural back at home.
He could easily keep himself in it here if sLivko is not attentive to this kind of drop play, as he's doing quite a lot of damage here. He could even take down the hatchery. He needs to focus that down. Yeah, there we go. He does now. He can lift up from that point on. The hatchery goes down, but there is that 3rd base.
He transferred his drones to the other base at the left-hand side here, so it's not that big of a deal. And he still is, 60-odd supply ahead, and there's more and more units coming down, but that 2-2 upgrade is going to help so much here. Can he make the comeback?
Shuttle constantly supply blocked here as well. Every time he wanted to put extra supply depots up, they were in the wall that got broken down by the Banelings. So he's going to be stuck on the army supply that he's on for quite a while. He needs to actually supply drop because that's getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, this is bad. He needs to keep rising up in supply. He's got a decent upgrade. Oh, he's dropping 2 medivacs full here. Is he going to be able to keep the defense strong at home, though?
There we go. He did supply drop. He's making a few more supply depots as well.
4 or 5 mines, 2-2 Marine Marauders, 4 medivacs, and a big drop towards the main.
That is a lot of units here from sLivko. He's leading with just a few, though, here, seeing what he can make happen. Another drop in his opponent's main as well, though. But Shuttle brings his bio back to a good position to try and defend. But look how much Zerg there is, Apollo.
Yeah, there's so many Banelings coming crashing through here. He's going to spread as much as he can. Down to 88 supply at 143. The Banelings are starting to go down. The drop is successful inside the main base. He needs to keep up his defense at home. The SCVs do fall down. The Banelings come and smash those.
Very, very well played here by sLivko in the end. Just being constantly persistent with this aggression. And with that now, Shuttle is on the verge of being eliminated in this game. But that being said, once again, another drop down to the bottom left. Kills off his opponent's main base.
He's killed his opponent's main base. He's brought him down a lot. 48 supply to 79. Remember, there's still 2-2 upgrades here, but he's still half the supply of his opponent. And he does lose that medivac and loses his aggressive option.
Yeah, if Shuttle has to make anything, if he can make anything happen, it has to be now with this army. This is the last army he's going to have, because behind this, he has 5 SCVs. He has no income really to actually deal with anything.
He's got 3 command centers though, right? He should have. I don't have a screen because I got kicked out of the game. So he does have mules.
He does.
And how many SCVs is he at?
He has 5, and I just
5?
Well, he has 3 now, but I shouldn't have said he has 5 SCVs, so there's nothing he can do, because we all remember day 1.
Yeah. and look at the amount of units, though. Bailey Nest is being rebuilt because it was lost. It's almost the perfect time to go before that Bailey Nest is ready. A lot of drones coming down. sLivko doing what we saw Tefl not do, which is expand to a different, different set of locations to keep his income high. The unit count, though, the army size. What's the army size? Considering that there's only 3 SCVs?
54 to 93. So, yeah, it got out of hand in the end, I think, now.
How many Widow Mines are there?
There are 3.
That's not high either. Everything I'm like, is there a hope here? What about, what about,
Sorry, man. 22 Banelings morphing in. Yum, yum.
Well, not for Terran players.
No, I guess not. A lot of green goo. A lot of green goo.
He's got a second evolution chamber coming down, so he's going to start to upgrade, and he's going to close the upgrade advantage for his opponent down shortly. Just to get the +2 carapace and a +1 melee is great for him now. That would be the best choice if he is able to do that.
I think it's 3 SCVs on the way at any given time now, and the drop tries to attack once again, but sLivko, I mean, his bases elsewhere are up and running fine. I like that sLivko has actually expanded elsewhere as opposed to back to his main, because why expand back to your main when there's hardly any minerals left there?
Great target fire down there of the Banelings, but still not enough units to do anything. Still no upgrades coming out from sLivko. Remember, it's 0-1, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's 0-1 versus 2-2.
1-1.
Okay, 1-1.
Yeah,
sorry, 1-1.
On the Banelings.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. But mines, if they hit well on the Banelings, Marines and Marauders are still going to clean up all these Zerglings. So, but still, it's like 173 supply to 91.
That medevac's going to fall. Just where's the last queen? Come from the 4th to kill that medevac off, but no. Apparently, does get away for now. Nothing really able to kill that off creep, and he's going to actually push in at the front as well. Zergling's leading the charge here. Those Banelings, how many Banelings does he actually have? 27 in total. It's going to be childhood memories of Nickelodeon goo all over once again as these Banelings crash on forwards. But that was a good split by Shuttle.
Yeah, he killed a lot there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Banelings died before they connected. Overlords get sacrificed there because they were thrown in to soak up the mines. What's the army supply?
Army supply is 48 to 72.
Very close. The upgrades may be enough. There's a lot of medevacs there. This may be Shuttle's time to turn this around. Definitely wants to keep on muling, keep on SCVing. It's going to make his way across the map now.
That was so cost efficient for him.
Very cost efficient. Very nice fight there for him.
Oh.
He's got a couple of mines, a tank in the mix too. If he puts that tank on the high ground and positions this well.
Yeah, it could be a little bit harder for sLivko to really deal with this here. sLivko now. I'm actually, unit counting station, 30 Banelings, 18 Roaches, and 59 Zerglings. That's a lot of Zerglings there, Apollo.
But mines and tanks.
Yeah.
1 tank and 1 mine. Not a lot. But let's see if we can do this. 90 supply versus 192. Very difficult to do so. Upgrades are helping him so much. +2 melee is on the way, finally.
He's floods in from both sides. He had to try and shut this down completely. One of the Widow Mines does end up dying. In fact, the only Widow Mine dies, along with the only siege tank as well. The bio has to get a good trade, but it's not going to be enough. GG for game number 2, and sLivko ties up the series.
And we will be going to game number 3 between these two players. MC left on the edge of his seat, waiting to play his final game. But that was kind of expected, I think, from sLivko. I mean, that's what he wanted to do in game number 1. Decent play from Shuttle. Decent play, close to holding properly.
If we'd have seen that 2 days in a row, I would have...
The comeback was always going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
The hold itself was possible, but just out of his reach. So sLivko was able to do it.
Yeah, so game number 3 will be on the way here in just a second, guys. I'm trying to find out what the last map will be. Second, Newkirk, and then third, don't quite have it to eye right now, but we'll get invited in just a little bit. And this is going to determine who is that one player
to go up against MC.
Yeah, and also who's that one player to drop down to Challenger.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad position to be in, especially last place, because that means you have 1 extra game, I think it is, to play in the Challenger League bracket. And every game, and all the players down there are all fighting to get back into Premier League, so every game is very, very difficult as it goes on throughout Challenger League. There are a lot of opportunities to get back into Premier League, being in Challenger League. 16 spots, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is 16 spots. It's interesting how Challenger works, because you initially get put into a bracket, a 4-man bracket, which consists of Premier fallbacks and then people that qualify through the Challenger process. And then if you lose in any of those series, yes, you lose that spot to go through to Challenger, but then you get put in a group system where the top 2 advance onto Challenger as well. So there are certainly good opportunities to get back into Premier, but it's a tough road because the people coming up through Challenger qualification, those qualifiers are brutal in themselves.
Yeah, there's so few spots for the amount of people that try to qualify for Challenger. Getting out from Challenger, once you're in it, it's not that difficult compared to getting into Challenger League in itself. But of course, the player skill does degrade the lower down we go from Premier League to Challenger to qualification, of course. So balances it out at the end of the day. But we are about ready to get into the next map. It is going to be on Star Station. A pretty good map, I'd say, for sLivko's style to come in from many different angles all at once to close in onto that third base and, you know, kind of clamp that down from different positions. It could be a nice strategy for him to try to pull off again, but is Shuttle going to be aware of this now? Does he start building tanks earlier? Does he adjust himself up a little bit more?
Yeah, I think that as time is going on now with this kind of style from sLivko becoming more and more common, you're seeing a lot more Terrans actually mix in those initial tanks and just have them well positioned on high grounds and really kind of, you know, kill off those numbers before they can do the proper damage that they want to. So if Shuttle does reactionarily do that, which personally I don't think he will too much, then great for him. But I think he'll probably go back to Hellbats.
I think Hellbats too. It gave him such a nice edge. It threw his opponent off. He was able to get a lot of drone kills as well. So I think he'll go back to that as well. Whether sLivko does the same thing, I think he might, but we'll see. Though, at the end of the day, this is just one barrier to break through, this next map for these 2 players. The more difficult game is going to be going up against MC. Is Shuttle going to be able to bring, you know, the rematch back from the start of the show today and be able to get revenge on MC? Is sLivko going to use his Brutal Infestors against MC? So there's 2 different ways this can work out.
That's the true hurdle. That really is the true hurdle here at the very end of the night. But now we are going to get into Star Station very, very soon here with Mr. sLivko and Shuttle. As these guys get ready to go very, very soon here. But I think sLivko could bring this back. After losing the first game, if he goes for that again, and if he is stable in his base against those Hellbat drops, I think he certainly could have a very, very good shot here against Shuttle.
All right, well, we'll find out. We are about to load into this map now. So thank you for joining us. Do make sure to go onto Twitter and tell everybody to come watch. I'm interested to see if MC is going to make it through, because I'd be very surprised if he didn't. I think that's one of the big things that everyone's expecting to happen here is MC to join Stefano into the round of 16. But we'll find out who will be joining, you know, MVP and Teffel and Stefano very shortly. The next map is ready to begin with, so let's jump right into it.
As we do have, spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner here as our Terran, representing the blue color and also Korea. He is Clarity Gaming's Shuttle. And spawning up to the top right as our Red Zerg, representing Russia, as well as Red. He is VP BenQ sLivko.
All right, predictions, go on, tell me this game.
I think it's the Hellbats again from Shuttle, and I think it's the Roachbane aggression here from sLivko once again.
I think Shuttle's going to win this game.
You think?
Yeah.
You think a Reaper
confident. It's possible, but I think just Command Center first. Again. I think Command Center first again. It's a kind of big map. It's a little bit more difficult to get cross position with Roach and Bailings to do a 2-base attack here. 3-base a lot more viable. So if anything's going to come, it'll be a 3 rather than a 2, I'd think. So I think Command Center, you know, it's possible, but I'd go Command Center.
Yeah. Well, certainly a very, very strong opening to go for. You go on the high ground, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Even though Shuttle, I think in one of his games went low ground.
Did he?
Yeah, I think in one of them. That was...
In today? Or am I...
Was it game 1 he went low ground? Which was game 1? It was Belshire, right?
Did he go
it was on the high ground. It was on the high ground.
Okay.
My bad.
Oh, well, we shall see. As for now, Shuttle is indeed going for that Command Center first. It's going to be on the high ground by the looks of things. So, yeah, just playing it nice and safe here. Not allowing his opponent really to exploit any weaknesses early on. sLivko, he's going to be gearing up with a hatchery first. Not playing Teffel style, not going for a spawning pool first. Because that would be kooky from sLivko.
Joe, I was just thinking, do you know what always confuses me? Is how little Stefano plays, but how he gets the results he does. Today, 2 wins to 1 loss. Initially against sLivko, granted ZVZ, and then just a 2-0 versus MC.
Yeah.
Like, you look at those results, and you're like, I guess that in theory that he's played a lot of tournaments this last month, so he's got a lot of experience on how the game's playing out right now. But still, I guarantee you, he probably didn't play a single game since his last tournament in Home Story.
You think?
Yeah, pretty sure. Look at his profile in between the next series. Look at his StarCraft 2 profile and look at his last game.
Does he not use a different profile?
No, he has just one.
Just one. Huh. Oh, well, Mr. Stefano.
Stefano doesn't play that much, but it just kind of always confuses me how he's able to bring in results when it matters.
He's a prodigy, man. He's a prodigy.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'd love to be able to win games without practicing.
Or just, if you translate it to your job, just turn up for a cast without any notes, no nothing, don't look at any VODs. Just, I know exactly what this guy's going to do. You just
I feel it. Yeah.
It's not that easy for us.
If only.
Oh, well.
All right, so the build's shaping up here exactly the same as the last game. Precisely the same, actually, as we have the speed on the way, a single drone inside the extractor. The one difference, actually, is I do look a little bit closer. Excuse me. Oh, dear me. I just
Steady on, boy. Steady
6 lings instead of 4.
Yep.
6 lings here. Aren't really going to be able to do anything, though.
Nope.
There's 2 Marines in a bunker.
I think there's a lot of space for you to actually end up controlling, though, later on. If you do want to actually position them around on Star Station, watch towers, and then the middle watch towers, and then other locations on the map to try and spot drops if they want to go around the edges. But with that now, he's just keeping himself positioned at the front, going to pull back a little bit. And what is he going for in terms of tech? He's going for the reactor with the factory, and there's the armory. Here we go. Hell drop.
You nailed it, son.
Nom nom.
And not a 3rd command center either. Look at that, an additional barrack. Oh, no, oh God, I saw the green lighting, and I was like, oh, an additional barracks here? But it's actually just the main one being moved over.
Yeah.
I would like to see additional barracks, actually. One of the styles that worked out really well in the Premier League last season was MVP's Hellbat drops into Marauders, onto an attack on the 3rd base. That could be something, I'd like to see. I think it's very difficult to deal with. It's one thing dealing with the Hellbats, and by the time you finally deal with them, it's another thing to deal with a Hellbat Marauder play to the 3rd base, especially on this map when it has that triangular position where you're expanding towards the Terran player in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it's really, really actually difficult to deal with. In fact, me and my random practice partner, we messed around with it a little bit, and it's so annoying to deal with. Do you have some ideas on how you fully actually push that off and fend it away?
You actually, the way to deal with it is don't take damage from the Hellbat drops, because that's the thing that slows you down not to have units to deal with it. If you don't take damage, you usually have enough to be able to deal with it, Roach Link. All
right, well, going back into the game here for this, we do have that speed about to finish up here for sLivko. And there is already a bunker at his 3rd, so an annoying little play by Shuttle is going to be after cleaned up here by Mr. sLivko, and he will eventually.
Yeah, this bunker, I'm not a big fan of it, but I guess you can always salvage it, right?
Yeah.
Always salvage it. Lose 25 minerals, but still. It doesn't, I guess it slows it down from being too much of an aggressive play.
Yep, and that 3rd hatchery is now on the way here, along with the Roach Warren going down for sLivko, so one might assume he is going to be going for the Roach Bane Ling play once again. It's pretty strong, man. It's pretty strong. But I think that if you go from Game 1 to Game 2 to Game 3, Shuttle saw that, hey, Game 1, I made Hellbats, and that worked. Hey, in Game 2, I didn't make Hellbats, and that didn't work in the end. It's a pretty good choice from him.
StarCraft strategy simplified here at the WCS Premier League. As we do have the Roach Warren being put down, no evolution chambers once again. sLivko seems to be aiming for the exact same position that he was previously. The only structure missing is the evolution chamber to get the +1 carapace. The double evolution chamber is not down, which is pushing him away from his upgrades again. Are we going to see the same style come out from sLivko? It looks like at this current point, there's the evolution chamber coming down. There is the Baneling Nest as well. Everything is aligning up here.
Yeah, it really is. And Shuttle, what is he going to do? Initially to scout it, the Hellbat drops, and certainly will be able to spot quite a lot of that. And then how does he react once he knows that's on the way? He's already getting a few Marauders out. but would love to see that factory lift off and get that tech lab just so it can make 1 or 2 tanks.
The big thing with this Hellbat drop, if it's able to distract and pull your opponent's strategy down like it did in game 1, it's going to work. If it doesn't do the damage necessary, you're so far behind in extra production. Stim is late, Marauders are late, Marines are late, Widow Mines are late because you're building Hellbats. So this is going to really work 2 ways.
He's doing quite a bit of damage here at the 3rd base, kills off quite a few drones very, very quickly there. 5 go down super fast. There's 3 roaches on the way to push that back, but I think those Hellbats could just stay there and kill those 3 roaches.
Yeah, 5 drones get killed there with that instant wave, and more can definitely fall down here. A lot of roaches are on the way, though. No, a bit of an overload cap there. sLivko, every time he tries to do this, he always gets supply caps, so he's like, screw this, and builds 6 overlords at once. So with 6 overlords at once coming in, he's going to be able to open those gateways up a little bit and be able to produce a lot of units, as he has a lot of lava available too.
I think we're going to see Shuttle here go for a triple-pronged Hellbat aggression. He's moving 2 Medivacs into position whilst he still has 2 Hellbats positioned near the 3rd, as he did lose one of the Medivacs, so this could cause a lot of problems for him.
sLivko's open, he's open to the task. He's got units in the main, the natural, and the 3rd.
He's doing really, really well about splitting up his units. He's got 17 roaches in production.
He's going for this attack, man. He hasn't taken that much damage yet. And he's not trying to change his strategy. He hasn't thrown down a Spire to try to move away and get Mulus out. He's bringing down the Medivac on the natural. He's just going to turn around in a minute. And he's going to stick his 2 fingers up in the air and say those words that I'm not going to say on stream.
Yeah, pretty much. The more units he gets out at this point, it makes it easier to deal with the Hellbats, and then now transitioning on to that aggression. This is going to hit really, really hard if he does it properly. He's got Overlords plenty on the way here. The drops are doing some damage. Once again, 11 drones have gone down, but 57 still intact. I think he has enough units here to just continue this and go for it.
All right, this is going to be a big attack. Look at the minimap. Just look at the minimap. Those strings of units coming down. 3 bunkers being made at home. Widow Mines in production. The winner of this moves on to play against MC in the final match of the day. The loser is the first one eliminated, going down to Challenger League, and will just face the same fate they had in Season 1, making it to the round of 32 and getting eliminated immediately. It's about to happen. Widow Mines setting themselves up. There's 5 Widow Mines there. 2 on the ramp, 3 by the bunkers, 4 by the bunkers.
This is a pretty good defensive setup.
That's a good defensive setup here. Does sLivko not try to go for it? Is he going to... Here we go.
He's going to try and push in here. Those Banelings need to separate themselves forwards to pick up that bunker. 1 bunker not going down just yet. Will go down. He has to trail with a few with those Zerglings. Try and soak up some of the Widow Mine shots. Banelings killing off quite a lot. They're killing off 2 of the bunkers that weren't even populated. All the bio is set up on the ramp, waiting for the opportune moment to actually pounce here on top of these roaches, but they're still doing a lot of damage regardless. How many works has he actually killed off? 16 already. Pulling off here, repairing that bunker at the ramp. Shuttle with a really, really nice, well-put-together hold.
What a great defense there. The bunkers, the Widow Mines, there's a drop about... No, it's a Viking, sorry. So he's actually just moving forward here. And that's pretty good from him. At 40 supply difference, better upgrades. He has a little bit less in workers, but it doesn't matter. That's not 5 SCVs now. That's 40. More bunkers coming down to make sure he doesn't die to another attack here. This is good play. Super good play from Shuttle.
He did that so well, knowing the significance of the bunkers at the back and knowing that they were always going to die, not having your bio down there and keeping it for later periods when all of the Banelings have gone, only having roaches to deal with in those tight little positions is a fantastic position there for Shuttle to be in. So really, really well done. But behind this, sLivko getting the Spire, getting the Infestation Pit, but his upgrades are going to be behind once again. 2-2 still on the way for Shuttle.
2-2, and that completes. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Remember, there's no units to deal with any Medivacs at this point, so these 2 Medivacs are going to be quite a difficult thing to deal with. They're going to come around to the main base. sLivko will have Mulus eventually, but behind this, the 3rd is being mined from for Shuttle. He's a little supply capped with 3 supply depots on the way, but with those 2-2 upgrades coming in, a second factory so he can get the drilling claws for his Widow Mines as well.
Yeah,
I really like Shuttle's position, really like it, despite being behind in supply.
Yeah, he's just adding on 5 supply depots now as well because he was that little bit supply blocked there. But as soon as those go down, hey, he rockets up to 142 supply, adding on 8 Marines as well as some Widow Mines very, very quickly. Widow Mines actually burrow there and catch a lot of those Zerglings, but not necessarily the most cost-effective trade there for those Widow Mines as they do go down rapidly from that point on. And whilst all this force is being chased off, there is a drop in the main here. He's going to try and focus down that hatchery. Bringing that down would really, really limit quite a lot of the infrastructure that we actually see here from sLivko, as well as that production. A great snipe off, taking no damage in the main.
Perfect play from Shuttle, just abusing what his opponent is weak at, which is dealing with medivacs. While building up a big army back at home, his 2-2 upgrades were about to complete. A solid defense from the all-in. Great counterplay here from Shuttle. He's outplaying sLivko at this point, and this is worthy of having the opportunity to get the rematch, to get his revenge on MC in the finals match here. Perfect play coming out from Shuttle, especially with adapting to how sLivko's been playing this series. Pretty much the same thing 3 games in a row.
And I think these Mutalisks coming out here for sLivko now are pretty much in, I would say, desperation, because, I mean, what else can you do at this point? He's even going for a great Aspire here, trying to transition onto ulterior attacks that his opponent may not necessarily be able to deal with, but will he survive to be able to actually get that out?
All right, this is the perfect time to move out. 2-2 upgrades are done now. So this is the perfect time to go. Drops on the main base, drops on the fourth, move out with the main army and hit with your 2-2 fighting force. It's the perfect time for Shuttle. If he doesn't move out, he may get stung by the Great Aspire. He has to have seen the Hive, right?
I think. Well, where was it morphing?
No, he hasn't. It's on the natural, and he hasn't seen the Spire, the Great Aspire either. But still, even without knowing the Hive's there, this is still the perfect time to go.
It really is. I mean, the upgrade advantage being so strong in his favor, I think he may wait for Drilling Claws to finish up and then go. But by that time, if there's Corruptors...
Oh, you pause at the most
SCV?
Tense moment. He's like, I got an SCV stuck. It's not mining.
I am also as bemused as you, Shuttle. SCV.
This is quite tense because as I was watching Shuttle's army, it started to move. This is going to be the killing blow. Yes, it's moving. He's going with his 2-2. No, he's coming back.
Oh, he's picking up. Where's he going?
If he's going to drop, where is he going to drop? Is he going to move his army still?
The Corruptors are on the way, Sean. He's going to have Broodlords before this hits.
There's no extra starports, remember. There's no Vikings.
This is tense.
If only he just moved out. I know he's probably waiting for drilling claws. As you say, he's got 3-3. He's got a 4th command center. There's no super reason to go out considering he's got great infrastructure. But the problem is he's got great infrastructure. The thing that's... Oh, God damn it, sLivko.
I have big problem. SCVs. Lots of SCVs.
All right, well,
that's his problem.
Basically, he saw the Mutalisks, Shuttle. And when you see Mutalisks, how the hell... Can you see Mulus and then 1 minute later, 2 minutes later, Broodlords are ready?
That's pretty big.
That's really fast. So he's not expecting it. So in his perspective, in Shuttle's perspective at this point, he's like, all right, you know, I held that well. I held it well. I've dropped his base. I've slowed him down. I've hurt him a lot. I've seen Mulus. He's gone Muta-Ling, bad upgrades, good position. Let's take my 4th and get my 3-2 upgrades, get Drilling Claws, and come with 200 supply. That's like going through his head at this point.
He's almost there.
The problem is, he's almost there, but Broodlords are morphing as we speak. There's a single Broodlord being morphed and more about to be morphed. The one thing that can work out well, if he does fight well and clean out all the Ling and Roaches and Banelings, then he can get underneath the Broodlords. There's no Infestors. He can get underneath them and kill them with Marines. But it's going to come down to how well that sLivko deals with that factor. Can he prevent that from happening? Do the Widowmines not get the big hit? Shuttle's, granted, still in a good position. If he sees a Broodlords and he isn't ready to fight, what he'll end up doing is dropping all over the place and pulling sLivko back to defend. Even cost inefficiently, he'll do that. Because all he needs to do then is buy time to add on 2 starports, pump out Vikings, and then be ready to fight. Even losing and trading off money to buy time, because he has 4 command centers. He's about to take his 4th.
The funny thing is that with Broodlords now on the way here, sLivko gets himself in his position where he is relatively most comfortable. There's 2 now morphing in. Of course, he would rather have his Infestors there to actually complete that entire utility factor that is always there for sLivko and has always been his saving grace. But now... this is going to be close. This is going to be very close. 3
Broodlords being morphed in to meet the other one. There's 4 in total. The upgrades aren't that good, remember. Zergling's running at 1-1. Marines and Marauders. Marines are very close to having +3 attack. This, for sLivko, still going to be very hard to deal with. This drops in his main, drops on his 3rd as well.
3 points of aggression here for Shuttle. Will there be enough to break him? Some infestors actually are here and will drop some fungals on some of this bio, but he needs to use that energy so
on the
carefully.
Left as well.
Oh, the Roach is actually killing off quite a bit of that bio as well. The Widowmine's trying to connect with some of it and will do, but he now knows Broodlords are there. He starts 3 starports instantaneously behind that. A lot of drops in the back, still doing some damage here. He's killed off a few workers behind this. 24 in total.
Yeah, a big drop on the natural now. 2 medivacs have been there. They've been in the main. They're on the natural. Mulis do finally come in to deal with them, but they don't have the best upgrades either. It looks like eventually he can kind of deal with it, but the biggest point is, just you say, 3 additional starports coming in. This is the time to build those Vikings, man. If he gets the Vikings, he can fight against this army. The upgrades are not good. And here's the second part of it. While building up, start dropping. Cost inefficiently. Just do it, man. Just buy time, pull him back. And I believe if sLivko, if Shuttle plays this out right, then the game is in his grasp. If he messes this up, sLivko can still fight back. He's up to his Brutal Infestors, man. He loves those. You know he does.
Yeah, he really does. And the thing is that going for 3 starports, he doesn't want to make a starport or 2 starports and then be like, oh, well, I need reactors now to make Vikings. No, no, no. You do that, you waste so much time. You need those starports now. You need that Viking production now. And he's going for even more drops once again here, trying to keep sLivko's economy in check. Up to the top left, he's putting some pressure on down to the bottom right. So Shuttle drawing sLivko left, right, center.
Perfect. Just abusing the immobility of the Broodlords. Fast, mobile units. The Marine Marauders come in, sniper hatch, and get out. Emergency mines in case there's units coming in. Another scan does go down. He may attempt to go in there, but that's where the Broodlords and Infestors do live.
He's already got 9 Vikings. There's 2 more in production right now, so he's going to go quite nicely. What a great fungal growth actually lands on that bio there. And is not able to chain it fully, but might get some free medevacs.
3 medivacs on the right-hand side here, very low in health. Headed toward the main base. They're going to try and bring down a hatchery in there and just distract his opponent. Well, behind this, with Shuttle on 4 bases, he's up to 200 supply. He's losing units, but he's replenishing them just as fast as he's losing them.
Yeah.
He's almost got the perfect army to kill sLivko at this point. sLivko, if he wants to be able to win this game, needs to have the best engagement of his life. The Fungals need to connect well.
Oh, yeah.
The Corruptors have to bring down the Vikings, and the Broodlords do the rest.
And despite actually having those Infestors and Broodlords out, they're not going to do anything for you if you don't make use of them. Right now, they're in a defensive posture. That's because Shuttle's forcing them into a defensive posture. Once again, drops in his main base, doing a lot of damage here. We'll have to pull back for just a second, as there is another engagement over to the left-hand side, but he's pushing in through the middle as well. Ah, no, there's our SCVs, never mind.
Remember, if you everyone that's seen Broodlord Infestors in the olden days, hold that thought as nice fungal there, but still, well, the second one's going to need one more to kill those off at least.
Really good chain there.
Yeah, nice set of fungals there, great play. But if you remember Broodlords, I've seen Liquid Hero drop and knock his opponent down to a single base and still lose to the army.
Yeah. Back
in the days when, Brutal and Infestors are so dominant. That is still a threat to Shuttle in this game. He's down in supply. He has +3 attack on the way, sLivko that is, and +2 army. He's catching up in upgrades. Even a Raven's coming into the mix. To add in that Seeker missile. To add in the point defense drone against the Corruptors as well.
Yeah, it makes it all the more difficult here for the Zerg to fully engage where he wants to. Another base does end up going down. Shuttle, for the last 3 minutes, we've heard nothing but Marine fire because he's all over the place. He's constantly limiting sLivko to whet the income that he cannot have.
Yeah.
And doing a great job of it.
And Shuttle now is taking a base down the south side too, so his income's only going to continue to climb, as well as army count too. And the Broodlords getting to a scary amount. Let's have a look how many there are. 13 Broodlords, 10 Corruptors, 3 Infestors. Not too many Infestors there, but there are a lot more Corruptors coming in. 19 Corruptors shortly, really looking to eliminate the Air Force.
Yeah. 15 Vikings on the field with those 2 Ravens, as you said before, but there's only 3 Infestors out right now. I think he needs more than that to try and lock down his opponent with the Fungals. Another push forwards here from Shuttle, trying to kill off this base where he can. Good Fungal will lock down some of that bio, though, in the end. And the Widow Mine actually kills off a lot of that bio in turn, because the Zergling and Infested Terrans triggered it. So not too bad there for sLivko thus far.
Yeah, he's keeping alive on 4 bases for now. He wants to try to get a 5th up, but Shuttle's the one with that 5th, as we see there on screen, with a well-saturated 4th base on the left-hand side. Very shortly, I feel that Shuttle's going to, try to rush up to 200 supply. Remember, every time he loses units, he's not rebuilding the same units. He's kind of molding his composition, just getting a little bit stronger towards what his opponent has. And that's with the addition of the Ravens, the Corruptors. But look at that force. Look at how strong sLivko's built an army up towards.
Yeah, it's as if he just hasn't minded. You can kill my bases, doesn't matter. It comes back to the point you brought up about Hero on limits and eliminating his opponent down to 1 base, but then dealing with this army is another factor entirely. And he's got a lot of Ravens out now, actually. 5, adding on a 6th. So those Hunter-Seeker missiles are going to be so important in this engagement.
All right, well, let's see what Shuttle's going to do in this next part of the game, as this army is very strong. Does he continue to drop and harass? Does he look to fight himself? With his army spread, he's got an army to the top left and an army down by his 5th base. So it looks like he's going to try and just spread the Broodlords up, stim and get to these later expansions. Yeah. Not using Medivacs anymore, as you can see. The difference is because there's so many Corruptors and Infestors now, it's not worth it. You might as well just stim in and get in and do damage. And he's going to attempt it on this right-hand side. This could be a nice strike on this 5th base.
Certainly could be. There's only those Corruptors there, as well as morphing in Spine Crawlers, but they're not going to be done in time at all. Corvid Reactor and durable materials behind this as well, just to augment those Ravens that are on the way, augment those Hunter-Seeker missiles as well. But now Shuttle, he gets another base once again. Nice. He knows the Broodlord positioning, or at least some of them. But there is still a good chunk of an army over at the left-hand side. The
Fusion Core coming down as well. So we're going to see some battle cruisers come into this game. He's getting his +3 attack as well for his air, compared to sLivko, who's currently at 0-0, with just +1 armor coming in at this point.
It's funny because these are the kind of games that you watch when it's down to the wire, right? You know that now, just watching this game alone, if you took this completely out of context and just said, you know, well, watching this game independently, this is down to the wire. And you can tell neither player wants to go out right now. Nobody wants to go to Challenger. They want to keep their Premier hopes alive.
That's right, they do indeed. A scan goes down to reveal where is the army. He didn't see it yet. He doesn't know where it is. Be careful of the fungals. That's the big thing here.
Those clumps are so clumped.
He's going to fight. He's going to take the fight.
He throws down some fungals here, but the Hunter-Seeker missiles are actually raining down on almost the entirety of the army. Kaboom! As a lot of those Corruptors do not die off in the end, but a lot of the Broodlords ended up doing so. Still more at the back, though, actually hurting a lot of that bio force. But I think the Vikings might be able to win out here.
It's so close. I think they could. I think they could. The thing is, there's queens underneath with transfuses too, right? So we had to pull out. Very, very close fight there. I'd say they bounced off each other really well. But the thing is, because of a lot of lava, he was able to replenish faster. So 10 Corruptors and 15 Infestors are coming out here for sLivko. Well, it's taken a lot longer to replenish here for Shuttle. So despite being behind in supply, he will get there eventually. But boy, those two armies just, you know, collided and kind of just bounced off each other.
Yeah.
And both, you know, retired back to their home bases.
I overstepped the mark and got a little bit excited there because I was thinking, well, yeah, the Vikings could stay in and kill off the Corruptors, but there's always the threat behind that of an Infestor coming along, locking those down and really making it hard for him to really micro that out. So now Shuttle is back to trying to dance around the map for a while whilst replenishing.
And he's getting the Mobius Reactor and getting Ghosts out now to deal with the Infestors that he knows are coming. EMP's down and that'll be great, but we do have a small little attack here. Spinecrawler's been a nuisance. He's going to attack from the high ground there. Smart choice. Annoying there for sLivko to deal with, but sLivko has a very strong army. 198 supplied, 172. A lot of Brewers, a lot of Corruptors. Can he use his Wings of Liberty style here in Heart of the Swarm? Can Shuttle do it? It's going to be a nail-biting finish to this game. Who's going to play against MC? Who's going to Challenger League?
sLivko decides it's time to knock on his opponent's door. He can't really do much else here, but try and bring the pressure here to Shuttle. While Shuttle is poking around at the other sides, he's trying to draw his opponent's army back, but this Broodlord Infestor army is not going home. It's going to sit here, and it's going to kill off every single building until Shuttle leaves. But Shuttle, he's not having any of it. He's bringing on the pressure back at his opponent's home as well, trying to ransack that 4th base. He's already killed off all of the drones. Well, actually, no, he's just denied the mining. But the point is, he's shut down a lot of sLivko's income.
There's a lot of mines here. Look at the army inside the main base. There's mines, there's Vikings, there's Ravens. If he gets a good fight, he can come around from many different angles and try to surround this army with everything he's got. It's going to be close. At the end of the day, we do see sLivko hurting and bleeding back at home. A drop at the north, a drop on the east as well. And it looks like he's floating his command center to the left-hand side to kind of keep his income around. But sLivko's marching towards the main base. We will have to have a fight soon.
Yeah, it has to come.
We will have to have it. Imagine if there was Cloak. Oh, there's Cloak. It's on the way for the Ghost. It's on the way. If he's able to Cloak, at least get rid of the Overseer. There's a single Overseer. EMP onto the Infestors and then come in with everything else. The Ravens, the Ghosts, the Mines.
And Cloak's just about to finish, so that has to get up and running very, very quickly. The Corruptors poke forwards. They see a lot of his opponent's army sat at the very, very back here, so that is very, very important. There's actually another Overseer just a little further back at that watchtower, but it is important to keep them alive. If he doesn't, and those ghosts are able to do as you said, that's a catastrophic position here for sLivko.
sLivko is not mining. His opponent is still. He's got a lot of use. All the ghosts in the main base get fungal. You got to be careful here. The Infestor comes in again. Cloak does get activated. He's displayed his tactic. He's displayed his Widow Mines as well. Looks like sLivko might be edging out here.
Yeah, tries Cloak forwards here. Good EMPs actually hit quite a few of those Infestors, but is it enough? The Seeker missiles, there's so many of them. They hit a lot of that army, but I don't think they're able to do the significant damage that they needed to. Another Hunter Seeker there gets separated off. A great micro there from sLivko, picking out that one unit that was focused down on and pushing it back. The Ghosts now have all but gone. He's got 2 Ghosts left. 11 Widow Mines. A lot of them have been used up, though. There's no more charge on them.
No more charge. Vikings trying to squeeze their way out. If he can get enough Vikings, maybe, but still, there's Queens and Infestors banking up energy. sLivko's played this many times before. The other side of the map, there is a couple of Marines and a Medivac trying to do something over there, but they have to lift up and get out of there. They're all mining bases, though. Barracks being added on. Shuttle knows that the position he's in. He's trying to mine money and build extra structures so he can rebuild his army. A Raven's trying to squeeze his way out. A Raven will be great at this point.
But he needs to tech up quickly. Barracks is not going to be enough here for him. It's going to be so hard to get all infrastructure up.
A fungal locks down a lot of that army.
Oh, he needs to chain that. He needs to get his Corruptors in here so he can kill off some of it.
Great snipe. Picking off the Infestor, allowing his Vikings and Ravens to escape. Perfect snipe there.
Very, very good. Shuttle really reacting exactly how he needs to, considering the position he's in right now. But sLivko is not done in the slightest. He's still completely ransacking this main, moving forwards with the Infestors once again, allowing the Broodlords to have full room and full coverage to have their way with this production.
This is difficult here. sLivko's not mining at all. He's got 24... Oh, actually, he is actually... Sorry, at the east base here, the 3 o'clock base is now mining.
Just a little.
And he's able to produce quite a few Zerglings here. Shuttle is facing elimination. He has 5 Ravens, a bunch of Vikings, and a handful of Marines and a couple of barracks, man.
Yeah, his army consists of 16 Vikings, and that's pretty much it. There's 5 Ravens, as you said, but that army is not going to be enough to take down sLivko in its current form. So he needs to dance around the map forever. There's just, if you look at the minimap, there's just blue everywhere, but the Zerglings are hunting everything down now. They're going to eventually shut everything down, and I don't know how Shuttle can actually come back from this.
This is not good, man. This is not good.
Not good.
Not good at all for Shuttle. Trying to think of ways he can win this game.
Great Hunter Seekers. Amazing Hunter Seekers.
Hunter Seekers. All right, so the way that he's trying to do it, and I mean, I was saying the think of how he's doing it, I guess if I just open my mind and think and use my brain, Shuttle's showing us how he's going to do it, and that's just build a bunch of Marines. If he can spread his Marines out well, remember there's only a handful of Zerglings. They don't have the best upgrades. Well, 3-2, that's a lie. 43 Zerglings versus 15 Marines. It's still not enough. But ideally what he wants is to be able to kill and surround everything and just make a big fight here with the Marines. But he's just not going to have the numbers. It's very difficult here.
Yeah.
18 more Zerglings coming in too.
Army counts right now 117 to 75. It's all going to be down to cost effectiveness of this air army. If Shuttle can be cost effective with it and slowly kill off parts of his opponent's army, then great. But that is going to take a whole lot of dedication, a whole lot of control, whilst he's losing just so much everywhere across the map.
Well, Marines have made their way to the right-hand side of the map. Infestation Pit goes down. It's going to be difficult for Zerglings to deal with it, but Banelings can.
Banelings certainly can.
Oh, nice pickup.
Yep, very nice. We'll run away for now and carry away to live another day. Try and shut down some of the income of his opponent's last mining base here, whilst he is up and running. But now, sLivko has found that one last bastion of hope for Shuttle.
Yeah, and the Viking count is at 16? 16 to 15 Corruptors.
And there's so much energy on the Infestors.
Shuttle? Can Shuttle play for a draw? Well, imagine it, right? The weakness of the Vikings and Ravens is the fact that there's Queens and Infestors which can't get to the top left.
Yes.
But sLivko has so much money. He just builds 10 Overlords and he continue. Yeah, there he goes. He builds his Overlords and continue.
Yeah.
I think that's what Shuttle was hoping for here. He's trying to play for a draw. But he realized he can't fight it out in the open. But again, I don't think that he can win by draw either. sLivko has too much money. He builds 20 more Corruptors.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, it just comes down to the point where sLivko can probably get himself up and running again. So it's not going to be there for Shuttle. Although Shuttle doesn't know that, as you pointed out. So doesn't know it fully, at least. So he's just trying to make these drops work where he can. He only has these drops to control, so he's keeping really good tentative eyes on them. Although he did lose a few of those Marines, 2 Banelings just then.
Well, with these Marines, he can really use the mobility and just like pick up and drop his drop the main base. As long as he keeps dodging the fungals, which are the things that are going to trap him down. Then maybe somehow if he picks off the Spire, kills the economy, and forces these.
Ooh.
Oh, dodge. Oh, that was cute.
There's 2 cute Baneling broodlings even. Just pop out and don't do anything.
All right, so he's going to go around. He needs to just keep using speed on these medivacs to run away from the Vungals and the Corruptors.
Yeah, he kills off another barracks here. There's still quite a lot of buildings actually left over here for Shuttle, and they're all over the place, in fact, flying around.
Look at Shuttle. He's got no SCVs and can't even build supply depots.
Oh yeah, so he can't make any SCVs.
He's stuck in this game.
It's only mules from that one.
Yeah, and
orbital.
what are you going to do with incoming mules, man? You've got no SCVs, you can't build SCVs.
It's not good.
I guess on the supply depots he does have, he could land... Well, he doesn't even have supply depots, it's just literally command centers that are powering his supply. So he is totally screwed when it comes to rebuilding an army.
Yeah, Shuttle here, still trying to go for that drop, but he loses a lot of it over at this eastern base.
Yeah.
As he's got very few Marines.
I mean, the Marines, that's kind of it. He needs to focus here on the Marines.
Yeah.
And he's lost a lot of them there. He lost them to the Banelings. We just missed that just by a little bit there. But that was his one potential way to stop the income, to prevent Corruptors being made. He's still going to try and play for this, but, well, he's not going to play for a draw if he's out in the open here down at the south side. No,
indeed. I think he's looking for the engagement now. I think he's just said, well, to hell with it. This is my last opportunity. I have to make something happen. Because elsewhere, he has no units left to deny income from his opponent, so he knows it's going to get up and running.
Trying to think of how he can win this.
It's a bizarre game.
It's a bizarre game, and I think it's, coming to the point where it may be impossible. A mining base is now going on for sLivko. He's lost quite a few overlords. That's kind of nice from these Marines, I suppose.
Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves. I mean, these Marines have been as cost-effective as they ever could be, and still it's not been enough for Shuttle to really get himself back into this.
He can just scan that base, and so he knows that his opponent is mining.
Yeah.
One fungal and everything gets locked down. He's gonna, we're gonna fight. One Broodlord.
Oh, well, this could be it. Oh, actually, good use of PDDs there as well as Hunter Seekers.
It's a waste of energy, those Hunters, though. But he can regenerate, remember? He can regenerate energy on the Raven, so he pokes in, snipes a Broodlord or two, gets out, regenerates his Raven energy. As long as he doesn't take too many hits.
I still think it's kind of where he has to go. Just poke around with the Vikings and, I mean, risk
then he's got to
the
avoid
fungals.
avoid the fungals.
Another Hunter Seeker on an Infester.
Yeah, that's not going to hit either.
Poor little thing.
So it's really slowed down this game now, and Shuttle's trying to figure out how he can stay in Premier League and, be able to go up against MC. Oh, fungal!
Oh, he caught quite a bit of it. Hunter Seeker missiles go down once again. They're going to fizzle out again here, so constant
Broodlord's slow. Why is sLivko running? He needs to turn around and fight. There's no way he can just run here.
And good fungals once again lock down so many of those Vikings. One last Hunter Seeker locks onto a Corruptor, hits home, but it's not going to be enough now. The Vikings microing back really nicely, though, in the end. There are 2 Broodlords left and 5 Corruptors against 9 Vikings. But even if the Vikings win, he's going to have to go around and land Vikings everywhere and try and kill things.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings have a bit larger range by 3 to the Corruptors, so he can micro well, but how is he going to beat the Queens and Zerglings?
Yeah.
He's got 3 Ravens left. I guess they can help, but still... He's landed mules supposed to repair his units. It's kind of one thing he can do with his money.
This is looking, unfortunately, very, very difficult here for Shuttle. And sLivko, he found himself in a position where he got up to his comfortable composition, man. And once he gets there, it's hard to break the man. It's hard to break the bear.
Yeah. Maybe Shuttle should have been a bit more assertive with his army when he was getting closer to a Viking count. He has landed his Vikings now with auto turrets. Fungal locks some of the Vikings down. And another one shall land. And this looks like the end of it. Shuttle just walks into Spine Claw. He's just losing way too much here. And
he could even pull drones off now and actually kill quite a lot of that. I mean,
a valiant effort to attempt to stay in Premier League this season, to have a chance up against MC, but he's down to 17 supply versus 66. Fungo's locked down the last remaining units.
Yeah, and there's three more Vikings are actually going to try and scuttle away here. But as soon as they lift off, there you go. GG, and VP BenQ sLivko takes the series and will advance on to playing MC for that final round of 16 spot.
That's right, sLivko's dreams kept alive here, and a nail-biting finish there on Star Station. Can he now go up against the boss toss himself, prevent MC from coming to Germany? Can sLivko take that spot instead? That's what we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, if he did, that would be a massive, massive upset, but sLivko could do it. sLivko certainly could after the crazy 2 days we've had already.
He definitely could, man. And we're going to have to find out if he can do that. We're going to get that game set up for you. And when we come back, we will begin the final game of the evening.